where you might think about leading trumps, either at the outset or later on after you see dummy. And we'll look at various situations in which leading a trump or switching to a trump might be a good option. So here's a hand where you are west. South has opened 1 spade, north bid 2 spades, south bid 4 spades, and you're on lead. And this is a hand where you're not particularly keen to lead anything. First of all, you have quite a good hand with 12 points, so your partner probably doesn't have very much. Also, most of the high cards are in the south hand. North is 6 to 9 points, presumably, and south is something close to 19 points. So anytime you lead a suit here, you may be leading into declarer's strength. For example, in diamonds, it's very likely that declarer's got the king of diamonds, or in clubs, it's quite likely they've got the ace and queen of clubs. And those minor suits are suits you really would rather not lead. The hearts is not much better because you'll be leading away from your queen, and it's quite likely that will help declarer too. So this is a hand where I hope most of you would seriously think about leading a trump. A trump here is a safe lead, one that you're hoping not to give away any extra tricks to declarer. And so the recommended lead here is a trump. In fact, if I click on the GIB button, it will tell you you can defeat this contract, but only if you lead a trump. On any other lead, declarer can make this contract. So you lead a trump, and down comes dummy, and let's suppose declarer wins this one and plays another trump, drawing another trump, and plays the final round of trumps. And now declarer leads a club from dummy, and they play the queen in their hand, and you play the king. And here you are, you're on lead again. This time you can't lead a trump. So I've got the first poll question of this evening, which is, what do you think West should play now? You've just won the king of clubs, and I'm going to launch a poll. And the question is, what do you think West should lead now? And most of you here have gone for a club, 62%, 29% said a diamond, and 29% said a heart, and 2 people voted for a diamond. And what do we think? Well, I kind of agree with the majority. Very often in these situations, it's better to lead back the suit that the declarer has just led at you rather than open up a new suit. And in particular, I want to stay away from leading a diamond here. Very likely declarer's got the king of diamonds, and we can stop it making a trick if we don't lead that suit. So yeah, I think a club is probably the best lead. The heart is a possibility. I mean, if your partner happened to have the jack of hearts, then it will be okay to lead that suit. So that will be my second choice. But very often in these situations, it's better to continue the suit back. You're basically playing passively here, trying not to give away any extra tricks and trying to make tricks with your, ace queen of diamonds rather than leading those suits. So yeah, let's suppose you do decide to lead a club back, and your partner has the 10 here, which is good news for you. Declarer wins the ace of clubs. Now declarer leads the jack of hearts, and I've got the second poll for you, which is, what are you going to play? And most of you have gone for the queen of hearts, 72%, but 28% said the 4 of hearts. And in this situation, yes, those of you who've said play the queen are right. It cannot help you to play low here. If you play low, declarer will almost certainly win the jack and then take the ace and the king, and you won't make any tricks. Now, if declarer's got all the hearts, like the Jack 10-9, you're never going to make a heart anyway, whether you play low or whether you play the Queen. But if your partner happens to have something like the 10, then it's essential for you to play the Queen here. Second hand should cover an honor with an honor. And I know it's very hard to do, especially as you can see, it's about to be beaten in the North hand, but it's definitely the right play. There are not really any circumstances where the winning play would be to play low. There can't really be any layouts like that. So yes, you should have been preparing for this right away and be willing to play your Queen there. So declarer wins that one with the King. He plays the Ace and he plays another heart. And this time your partner wins that with the 9. And although we were saying, if we have a look at the 4 hands now, although we were saying it was very bad for West to lead a diamond at any point, it's absolutely fine for East to lead a diamond because they'll be leading into dummy's weakness. Any high cards are in the West and the South hands. So East should lead a diamond. Probably the best diamond to lead here is the Jack. So if declarer plays low, you can keep the lead in your hand. But whatever you play here, if they play the King, West can take the Ace, now play the Queen. You could play another diamond, but declarer will ruff that one. And at the end, declarer can cash the last trump, but they will have a club loser if you hung on to the right card. So against good defense there, declarer should be defeated and might even go down 2 tricks there, depending on how he plays. Anyone have any comments on that? Any questions?
Yeah, but why would you lead the Jack of diamonds and not the 9 of diamonds, which is higher than the highest dummy?
Yes. Well, it's a good idea to lead the 9. It could help in some situations to lead the Jack if your partner's got something like this, and if declarer maybe had another diamond in their hand. Because if you lead the 9, your partner would have to win it with the 10, and then would have to play back a diamond. So there are some layouts where it could help to lead the Jack rather than the 9. It doesn't matter in this case because declarer's only got 2 diamonds, but that is a good thought. So yeah, leading a high diamond is good, but leading the Jack will make it more likely that you'll retain the lead if declarer does play low. But that's a good observation. Any other comments on that? Let's have a look at another one. And here the bidding has been quite exciting. South opened with a preemptive 3 diamonds. You're West and you doubled. That's a double for takeout, of course. You've got the perfect distribution for it. But North bid 5 diamonds and East doubled. Now that double is for penalties. East is doubling on the basis that you doubled for takeout. North is bidding 5 diamonds anyway. And rather than bidding something at the 5 level, East has decided to double. And that is a penalty double. So let's have a little think about this, what you're going to lead. Let's suppose you decide to lead the Ace of Clubs, which is the normal lead here, top of a 2-card sequence. Down comes dummy, and you can see an interesting dummy. You can see that North has supported with 3-card support. The partner's got 7 diamonds, presumably. So it goes 2, Jack, 7. So you've won the first trick. And I've got the 3rd poll for you coming up now, which is, what do you think West should play now? Just won the Ace of Clubs. And what do you think you should lead now? The poll there, and we've got a very divided result here. really all over the place there, between a spade being just in the lead, the majority, then others have gone for a diamond or the king of diamonds, a heart or a low club. So all choices were chosen there. Well, let's have a little think about this. First of all, North has bid 5 diamonds here, not, I think, expecting to make it. North has only got 8 points and their partners opened with a preemptive 3 diamonds. So South is also weak, but with a long diamond suit. And North was weak here, but they do have 3 diamonds, so they know there is a 10-card diamond fit. So I think North is sacrificing against you. And the fact that East doubled confirms that East must have quite a good hand and doesn't think they're going to make 5 diamonds. So you are playing against defenders who are basically sacrificing against you. They're in a doubled contract. And very often in this situation, it is a good idea to try and draw trumps, especially in a situation like this where there aren't very many trumps in the North hand. And the other thing that should be very apparent to you is that North has a singleton spade. It is almost certain that Declarer has some length in spades and presumably would like to ruff some of those spades in dummy. And so you should be thinking about switching to a trump at this point to try to cut down on the number of spade ruffs that Declarer can get. Also, if we think a little bit about the club suit, let's see, North started with 6 clubs, you started with 4, so there are only 3 between East and South. Someone's got another club, and we can't really be sure who it is. Your partner could easily have be signaling encouragement. Maybe they started with a Jack-9 and were thinking they're going to ruff or something. But in that case, Declarer started with a singleton, and there's no ruffs going to be coming your partner's way. So this one, I think, clearly calls for a switch to a trump. Yes, you should play the 8 of diamonds at trick 2. Let's just bring up the 4 hands and have a look at things at this stage. And you can see that, as predicted, South has got a very nice diamond suit, not much else, but they definitely have some spade losers, which they would like to ruff in dummy. So you should switch to a diamond at trick 2. And here your partner has the ace, so should join in your plan, cashing the ace of diamonds and playing another diamond to cut down on Declarer's ability to ruff. Now that's actually all the diamonds gone, so Declarer can now play a spade and is able to ruff 1 spade in dummy, but that's it. He's now left with those 7-6 of spades, and as long as you hang on to that suit, you will take those last 2 tricks, you or your partner. At this point here, if Declarer, for example, leads a heart and ruffs it, he's sort of just making life easy for you, because you now know that Declarer has no more hearts, so you're quite happy to throw away your hearts and keep your spade. So if Declarer starts playing off the diamonds, you should be throwing away your hearts and making sure you keep your spades. Either you, as long as you or your partner keeps your spades, you will be able to make 2 spade tricks at some point. Okay, and Declarer should be defeated by 2 with best defense. If we go back to the point here where I asked a question after the ace of clubs is played, if I actually click on the GIB button at this point, you can see that you can defeat the contract, but only if you shift to a diamond. If you play anything else here, Declarer can actually make 5 diamonds because they've got a fantastic fit with the singleton spade in one hand and the singleton heart in the other. But you foil that plan by switching to a trump once you see dummy. Any comments or questions on that?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
I think it was wrong of East to play the Jack of clubs, because I took that as an encouragement to show me that he only had a singleton, in which case I would have played the King of clubs.
Agreed.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so suppose he'd played the 9, then you still really wouldn't know whether it was a singleton or not, would you? I mean, yeah, I mean, maybe your partner was wrong to signal encouragement, because even though he's got 2, he can sort of work out that declarer might well be ruffing if he roughs. Yeah. So yes, possibly he should play the 9. If he did play the 9, I think the situation is still the same. I don't know if you would, what you would take the 9 to be, possibly discouraging. If the 9 and the 7, it would mean the Jack, if someone still had the Jack, but I don't think you really know who it is.
I think it's very difficult because they've got so many diamonds.
Yes. That
I would think that trying to pull 2 diamonds wouldn't make much difference to them. I mean, you're right, but I don't know if I would do it when it happens.
Well, that's a very, very good observation, Francis, because yeah, they have masses of diamonds, but what's important is that North only has 3 diamonds.
Right.
I mean, yeah, if you're right, if the 10 diamonds they have had been 5 in each hand, then there's no point trying to pull them.
Yeah. Okay.
But because North has only got 3, yes, then it is worth doing.
Yes, and we know they've got 7 opening 3. Okay, thank you very much.
That's a good point. Yeah. Let's try another one, and I'm going to start off with a lead question for you. It's gone 1 spade, 3 spades, 4 spades. You're West here, and what are you going to lead? Sorry about that. What are you going to lead? So I'm going to launch a poll in a moment. End that poll. And let's have a look at the results. Majority here have gone for the 9 of spades, and close behind is the Queen of clubs and small votes for other things. No one voted for the 8 of clubs, so which is good. You shouldn't lead your 4th highest, but if you do lead a club, you should lead the top of a near sequence, Queen, Jack, 9. So on that last hand, we led a singleton club, but that was with exceptional bidding. That was a situation where they had 10 trumps between them, and although you only had 1, your partner didn't have very many. This is a much more normal bidding kind of sequence, and in this situation it is generally a mistake to lead a singleton trump. My vote here goes for the lead of the Queen of clubs, and if we just bring up the 4 hands, you can see that if we look at this from declarer's point of view, we can see that declarer's in danger of losing 2 clubs, 1 diamond. In hearts, they can finesse, and they can avoid losing to the king. And their only other loser, apart from 1 diamond and 2 clubs, is possibly in trumps. And if you lead your singleton, if you have a singleton trump, it's very often the case that your partner will have something like they have here, like Queen 5-3. And if you lead a spade, you are helping declarer, because declarer will just play low from dummy, and then they'll beat the queen if it's played, or they'll win the trick with the Jack if it's not played. So while a lead of a singleton in a side suit is often a good idea, I see a lot of people get into the habit of leading singletons, and they lead a singleton trump, and it's rarely a good choice, and it's definitely not a good choice here. It just helps declarer avoid the loser to the queen of spades. If you don't lead a spade, declarer will have to play the spades himself. He might finesse the wrong way, or he might cash the ace and king and lose to the queen. But do not lead a singleton spade. It will very often trap any honors that your partner has. All right. So if there's one thing you remember from this talk this evening, try not to lead a singleton spade, a singleton trump. Okay. Any comments on this? I won't play this out, but it's basically if you lead a spade, it just helps declarer avoid a trump losing. All right.
Tony?
Yeah.
What made you choose the queen of clubs rather than the two of diamond queen? You know.
So generally speaking, it's better to lead, in terms of desirability, I would lead from sequences, near sequences, and then finally from suits without any.
Thank you.
Those are least likely to help declarer. Whereas, I mean, I think in this case, any lead would be okay. Even on a spade lead, declarer can still make this. Sorry, even whatever you lead, declarer can still make the contract. But the spade lead is the one of the worst leads, I think, to make there, because it will trap any honors that your partner has. So if you've been leading your singleton trumps, try not to do it. Here's another one, and again, I've got a poll for you on your opening lead here. The bidding here has gone 1 spade, 1 no trump, 2 hearts, passed out, and it's your lead. And in a moment, I'm going to launch the last poll of the evening to ask you what you think you should lead here. The poll there, and have a look at the results. Yeah, most of you have gone for a club, 62%, and 19% went for a spade and for a heart. No one led a diamond. So that is interesting. Well, this is a very particular bidding sequence. And what you need to do in this situation is try to imagine what South's hand is like. South has presumably got 2 suits, spades and hearts, and he bid the first one. North doesn't have much, bid 1 no trump, then bid 2 hearts, which was passed out. So what we know about the North hand is that of the 2 suits, North prefers hearts, and North is presumably quite short in spades. And what you can see from your hand is that you have a good holding in declarer's first suit. So declarer does not have a long, solid spade suit that they're going to run. They almost certainly have some losers that they are going to try to ruff in dummy. And once you realize all that, you should probably realize that the layout could easily be something like this, that South has bid their 2 suits, North has a strong preference for hearts and has left it there. And you know that you've got the king, queen of spades, which is going to prevent declarer running that suit. So this again is an auction that calls for the lead of a trump to try to prevent those ruffs in dummy. So yes, I think the right lead there is a trump. If you did lead a club, the jack of clubs, then whether you win the trick or whether East wins the trick, I think it should be clear to both of you that you need to switch to a trump at trick 2. So yeah, the jack of clubs works out all right as long as whoever wins that trick doesn't continue with clubs and switches to a trump. So yes, you should lead a trump here, and your partner should, here they've got the ace, they should get in on the same plan as you and win that one and play back another heart. And again, by drawing 2 rounds of trumps, you've cut down on Declarer's ability to ruff spades in dummy. Declarer has now got just 1 heart in dummy and will be able to ruff once, but won't be able to, otherwise, if he hadn't drawn trumps, he might have been able to ruff 3 times. So at this point, Declarer might win the ace of spades, might play a low spade, which is going to ruff, but that's it. Now he's left with spade losers, and you've got the king queen there. So Declarer might maybe try a club, but if your partner gets in, now it's quite safe for your partner to lead a spade because there are now no trumps in dummy. So you can win 2 tricks there. And what else is going to happen? You might play a club. Your partner can win that one. Oh, sorry, Declarer ruffs that one. And he's going to make 1 spade there with his jack. And again, at this point here, if Declarer leads diamonds, West really should not be playing his ace there, and should, let Declarer win that one with the king and hopefully win a diamond on the way back. So played that way, you can actually defeat 2 hearts. But the key thing is to lead a trump or to switch to a trump once you see dummy. And especially for West, because you've got a good spade holding, you can see that Declarer has probably got some spades that he would like to ruff in the north hand, and you and your partner should try to prevent that. Any comments or questions on that? So that really is a summary of what I wanted to talk about today. Situations when the defense should either lead or switch to a trump. And 3 common situations is when Declarer may have some losers in a side suit that they want to ruff in dummy, especially if you've got strength in that suit, and dummy may only have 2 or 3 trumps. So sometimes that's clear from the bidding. Sometimes it's only clear really once you see dummy that that's a possible strategy. Another time for leading trumps is as a safe lead, one that's unlikely to help Declarer. And another time is when the opponents seem to be sacrificing against you. They're probably going to make more tricks by ruffing and cross-ruffing. And if you have an opportunity to cut down on that, that's often a winning strategy. So that was all I wanted to talk about today. Just to let you know that although there are hands coming up involving this, they're not all at the beginning, because I thought if I just start off with lots of hands where you lead trumps, then you might do that automatically without thinking about it. So they're not just at the beginning. But I'll end the talk there, and I'll say goodbye to you all. But if any of you are planning to play in the game and need a partner, can you speak up now, or you're welcome to just to join the game and let me know then. But for the rest of you, I'll say goodbye.
I need a partner.
Bye, Tony. Thank you.
Hello, I see a new person there. Lau, I haven't seen you for years.
No, I need a partner.